Okay, what we're going to do today, I'm making something for a friend, and I'm trying to find the piece that I cut it off of. What we're going to be making is an oil tank cap for a motorcycle that has a knife in it. And we're going to make the knife blade from scratch and the oil tank cap from scratch. So what I did was I had this stainless scrap, and I drew a knife design that's right here. I've already done some grinding on it. What I'm doing is, as I grind it, I'm quenching it. Of course, right now it's cooled off a little bit, and you can see the design of the blade is recessed here to go into the oil tank cap that we're going to make. And right now I'm just thinning the blade up a little bit because it was pretty thick piece of steel. And quench that so we can handle it. Plus it helps harden it a little bit. And so we just want the two sides to have that line pretty much match it. We'll take our edge on it that we'll go back and sharpen after we heat treat it. So there's the blade. And what we'll do is we'll heat treat it, sharpen it, polish it, sharpen it again, and be done. Now let that cool. And for the handle I'm working on, it's right here in the lathe. I'm machining out of copper. So I've necked it down to where it'll fit into the tube that we're going to use for the oil tank spout, and we're going to polish it down just a little bit more, and it'll take two rubber gaskets in here. We'll machine two lines in it to hold rubber gaskets so it'll stay in like a traditional one, and polish all that out. This line here is where I'm going to cut it and knurl it, and then leave the top blank so they can put some initials on it or whatever. So what I've done is I've put a center hole in here, and we're going to take this chunk to the mill and machine out a slot for the blade to go in, and then the two lines where the rubber goes, we're going to drill two holes through the blade while it's in there and through this, and then we're going to insert two pins to hold the blade in and secure it so it doesn't move around, and then we'll put the rubber that we put on it will cover those pins and it'll be pretty clean looking, hopefully. So I'm going to take this to the mill and put that slot in. Okay, what I've done is I've got a milling bit really close to the thickness of the blade. I've got the center hole, and I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to go around the edges off to this insert, round this edge off here so it'll match that, and then see if it'll plug and play. Yeah, that'll be perfect. Nice tight fit, that's what you want. You don't want it to slide down in there, because what we'll do is we'll do an epoxy filler, jam it down in there, drill two holes in it, seat the thing in there, and then it'll never come out unless you pop the pins out and put it on the extractor press. Okay, my battery went dead, so I don't know how much I missed, but what I did was I used this cutoff wheel to bore little ridges in here that I'll show you in a second for this rubber gasket to sit in, so that when you put the rubber gasket on and put it on the oil tank, put two of these on there and it suctions in and stays, and all is well in the world. Alright, we're going to install the blade. I started taking and just trying to hammer it in there, but when all else fails, because you don't want to butter the blade up but so much. Put it in the vise. Oh, that's good. Nice and straight. And it's in there once we drill that hole. Of course, we have to take the hammer marks out of the blade now. And we got some big old marks there now. Put the blades in. It's a heavy handled knife right there. Okay, so what I've done so far, I drilled the hole through the, I took the blade back out, drilled the hole through the blade, and you see this pin right here sticking out. Before I put the blade back in, I put some strong clear epoxy in the pocket, which is now all over my fingers. And then put the blade back in, inserted the pin. I'm going to let that sit for a few hours, and then I'm going to polish the blade one last time. Well, I'm going to cut this off, put it in a lathe and knurl it and clean the end off, and then I'm going to polish the blade, polish this, and it should be done.